Hey, Homestead Prepper. Okay, today we're going to change out a GFI receptacle and a regular receptacle here in the kitchen. You can see here where the receptacle is just been heated up. We plug our coffee machine in there, and over the years it's degraded that receptacle. Also, the GFI is to where it doesn't want to reset, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that too. Before we get started, I gotta say, you gotta work at your own risk and make sure the power is off. Alright, well let's get that breaker turned off and make sure we're good to go. Okay, I got it plugged in there. Just because you don't get any juice to that receptacle right there doesn't mean that there's not juice on it. You need to pull the receptacle out sometimes, make sure it's off, touch it directly. I'll show you that in just a second, but let me flip this breaker and turn this off. Okay, there's normally 2 kitchen circuits in a house. Mine has 3. Kitchen circuit 1, that's on kitchen circuit 2. So we're going to turn that off. Okay, we're sure the power is off. This is my rotary screwdriver right here. It makes doing switches and receptacles a lot easier. So let's just take that off. I mean, you can use a screw gun or you can use a regular screwdriver. I'm just more familiar with using one of these. Alright, get that off. Just heated up the plate a little bit right there too. Alright, let's pull these out. Said the power is off. And that just pulls out like that. Oh, if you can see that right there, that's bad. Let's take a close up of that. Well, that thing has been heated up royally. So what we're going to do in this case is we're going to cut. Actually, we're just going to replace that wire because it's too short. And usually that's caused by a loose connection and a lot of amperage draw. So, okay, if y'all can see this or not, but on this receptacle, right here it says line and that says load. So these 2 wires are the power that comes from the panel. They're on a 20 amp breaker, and then you can tell this is the load because this goes over here. This is our load, and this actually feeds over to that other receptacle over there too because it's on the same circuit. It's GFI protected. So let's get this taken apart here and get it replaced. See if I can find another piece of wire. Okay, I'm going to try and do a little better job of explaining this. Okay, there's our GFI receptacle. You hit your reset, that resets it. The line power from the breaker goes in the bottom. The load comes out of the top. It comes to this receptacle. And then these 2 wires right here are joined, and then that goes to the wall, and that goes over to that other receptacle. So when you kill this, it kills that one and it kills that one. So I just happened to find some 12, this is 12 American wire gauge number 12 THHN, and that's what I'm going to replace this right here with. Okay, well let's just take it all apart here. Now, if you don't remember which wires go where, the best thing to do is take a picture with your camera. On this receptacle, it doesn't really matter so much. The black wires go to the gold screws, and the white wires go to the silver screws. Of course, that one's still silver. That one has seen better days. Alright, just pull that off. If they don't come off, you can, so I'm not going to try and unscrew that because I'm not going to reuse that wire. We're just going to cut it. We have our ground wire. And this is garbage. Okay, and we're going to replace this GFI. Take that ground wire off the bottom. You're probably saying that these wires all look the same color. That's because when I painted, I spray painted them. But you can see that one's black. Okay. These, like I said, the black ones go to the gold screws and the white ones go to the silver screws. So that's our line power. You can take a piece of tape, write line on that one because it says line right here on the back of the receptacle. So let's take that off. And there you go. It's actually pretty simple. So we can actually reuse this black wire right here. Or you can put a new one in there, whatever you want to do. Now what I've done, if you notice, this one's a little different than that one. It's got that little thing right there. This is a 20 amp GFI. And this is a 15 amp GFI. So I'm going to be upgrading it a little bit, which is within code because I got 20 amp wire in here, which is what you're supposed to have in your kitchen. Number 12. If you look here, this is what I was talking about. That says line. This is the load. You know, sometimes you'll just have one set of wires there, and you'll just hook that up. But being that we've got wires that feed over, we're going to be hooking that up. So let's take this off. Okay, I want to show you guys something. Here's our two receptacles. Like I said, this is 15, this is 20 amp. And if you hook it up the same way that it came off, you'll notice that we stayed before. The line is on the bottom, the load is up here. On this one, the load is on the bottom and the line is on the top. So our incoming power needs to go in here. If you hook it up the same way as this one, this one's not going to work. Okay, so I just thought I'd mention that because they have to make it confusing. They can't make it too simple. Okay, well, first thing we're going to do is, I guess, hook our grounds up. Put that on there like that, and just take your needle nose and just give it a little squeeze. Now this does not have the power that this type of screwdriver right here has. So you want to snug it up a little better than that other thing will do. And then hopefully you remembered where your line power was coming in. And this is going to go in the top over here, and the white is going to go to the silver screw, and the hot is going to go to the gold screw or brass screw. Let's put that on. Nice and tight. We'll put this one on. Okay, and that's our line power. Now everything else is just load. So what we need to do is bring 2 wires from here, which this is the old black wire. We can reuse that. Cut some of that off. Okay, and we need to cut a new piece of white wire. This is some 12 AWG American wire gauge THHN. And we're going to strip the ends. And we'll put this one over here. Okay, well that's one down. Now it doesn't really matter if these go on the top or the bottom of this receptacle here. Like I said, you want the bare to go to the green screw, the hots or the black wire goes to the gold screws, and the whites go to the silver screws. So let's hook up the ground. Let's move that. Squeeze it on there. And I guess you can hook up the white wires first. Go ahead and, you see these both look white. That's because I spray painted them when I painted the house. So this is the white one. I don't want to go on there. There we go. Put the, tighten it up. It goes like that. And then, like I said, it doesn't matter which one the black wire goes on, if it goes top or bottom, because it's just feeding over to the other receptacle. Alright, and cinch it up. Now, a lot of people have problems with this next step I'm going to do here, and that's trying to fit the stuff back in there. You just kind of work it. You want to make sure that these don't touch back up in here or anything. It will short out. A lot of times I see people, they screw receptacles in kind of at a corner. You just take it out, just turn it with your hand, and it'll straighten up on its own. Alright, well, let's see if we were successful. You go in there and, of course, that's not going to stand up on its own. Let me go in there and turn the breaker on and see if we got juice. Okay, I hit the breaker. We don't have any juice, but you have to reset this. So there we go. So what I like to do is check everything. Top and bottom. I'm also going to check this one over there. Alright, well, I'm going to call that a wrap. I think we're working good. And what we're going to do too is we're going to hit the GFI test button, and we're going to make sure that that goes out. And there we go. Okay guys, well, that is how easy it is. See, we made a little bit of a mess. We're going to clean that up though. And we saved us a little bit of money, and we saved us potentially a fire. So, okay, well, you got any questions? Homestead Prepper out. Back in business.